fights in a row going into this particular fight, Ben.
Yes, of course, both boxers have got good records. This is going to be an excellent fight, and at the end of the day, David knows what he's up against. He's up against a very good boxer who is in tip-top form, and he's come here to win the belt. He will take it all. He will give it his all, because the winner of this fight knows what it is. They go on to fight for bigger things. They can progress onto the silver and then ultimately onto the gold title. That is what it's all about. That is what is at stake. There is a lot at stake in this fight.
Yeah, you're right, but the lives of Las Vegas are at stake. The WBC gold is at stake. The big money is at stake, and they all know it.
Well, the two boxers sizing one another up in the center of the ring here at the government complex. An even Stevens kind of matchup so far in the early exchanges of round one, as we approach the last minute in as far as the opening round is concerned here at the government complex, Ben.
So far, excellent fight. So far, excellent. Both boxers trying to gauge their own. Charlton, obviously, you can see he's been the more aggressive in this round. More aggressive of the two. Taking the fight to the champion.
Well, we're definitely down to the last 30 seconds of the first round here at the government complex. And for the avoidance of downs once again, it is Zambia's David Sniper Mwale in the black shorts up against his challenger from South Africa in the white and the blue trunks. David Mwale taking it to his opponent in the last 10 seconds and holding on for dear life, and the two boxers exchange punches in the last 5 seconds or so.
A very explosive first round.
And round one has come and gone.
Very
Let me begin with you, Ben. What are your overall submissions of the first round here at the government complex between these two boxers?
Very explosive first round. Both boxers exhibited, they showed themselves very well. They showed themselves very well. Very tight, very close to call. But like I said, you gotta give it to one fighter.
I want you to speak to picture as a boxer. What are you seeing in terms of the first highlights of the first round?
They're both trying to be defensive. They're both trying to establish themselves. They're both trying to be aggressive. And I think this it's very hard to judge this round. And I think we'll see what the next round comes with.
Well, you can definitely see there Coach Fernandez of the Golden Gloves are trying to ensure that he passes on some tactical instructions to his boxer Charlton Malajika. But it's David Sniper Mwale on the front foot taking the fight to his opponent, and the two boxers here going at it, slugging it, but it's David Mwale on the ropes, and at this particular moment you have to say that he has to get off those ropes, Ben Saili, for him to have a better chance in terms of this particular fight.
Well, you can see the way the fight is going. Charlton is coming out guns blazing. He's not taking any chances, and he's taking the fight to David. He's taking this fight to David, and he knows he's got to finish this fight, and the only way to beat the champion is to knock him out, and that's what Charlton is trying to do here.
One thing that Charlton Malajika must be counting his lucky stars is the fact that the last time David Sniper Mwale defended his WBC crown here at the government complex, he discarded his opponent Ramadan Milans in 2 minutes 41 seconds in that first round. This time around, the South African has lasted definitely more than the Tanzanian boxer in the last title defense. What do you make of that already? That statistic, the fact that the South African boxer has already lasted longer than the Tanzanian boxer lasted in the last title defense. That Sniper faced him here at the government complex.
I think it's a different level. This guy is more experienced. He has more fights. He's well trained. He knows he's fighting. These fights are different. Every fighter is different. And even though you can see it might not last longer than there's a big cut now, but I think it's levels. I think it's levels, and this guy is more experienced and more determined and wants to take this home.
Let me bring in the encyclopedia of Zambian boxing in Ben Saili. Ben, you know me, I'm all about statistics, and let me throw in one for you.
Yes.
The fact that his opponent, Charlton Malajika, has never won a professional fight outside of South Africa. How much should we read into that particular statistic?
It's a very interesting statistic, but nevertheless, what's at stake here is a lot. And Charlton is going to give it his all. Being away from home is not going to deter him. He's coming into this fight with all guns blazing, but as you can see, I've noticed that he's got a cut. He's got a cut, but it won't deter him. He's a fighter. He's coming in to fight and he's giving it his all. The one thing you should know is golden gloves don't take a fight that they think they can't win.
We're down to the last 10 seconds in round 2 here at the government complex. Both boxers really slugging it out, and you can see the big cut on top of the left eye, Ben Saidi, of the challenger in obviously, Charlton Malajika. What do you make of this particular round? Is it a round in favor of the sniper or not?
Well, very explosive round, very explosive. I can see the corner there trying to work on that cut. That is going to make it difficult for Malajika. You know, you get a cut early in the fight, it makes it difficult. It makes it very, very, very difficult.
You agree from a professional boxer's perspective, when your cut makes it more difficult for you to see, makes it more difficult for you to land these matches?
Yeah, that David is going to be aiming for that cut now, and this is the second or third round. It's a long way to go, and David is just going to be, all he's going to do is target the cut. It's going to be a very difficult night for Charlton.
Well, the two boxers both coming in into this particular fight on the back of victories. For the case of Charlton, Malajika won the vacant WBA Pan-African Bantamweight title, defeating Sabelo Sebekulu in unanimous points decision on the 6th of December 2024. And of course, that experience at the Emperor's Palace in South Africa. But the two boxers once again slugging it out at the middle of the ring. Charlton definitely bringing his A game, Ben, to this particular fight.
Well, I'll tell you what, both boxers are really showing good skills, powerful punches, and of course, what it is that they're sizing each other up, and they know that what is at stake is very, very high. But I can see Charlton is recovered from that cut, and yeah, he's coming back into the fight. But David has got this weight of a nation on his shoulders, and he knows what it's all about. He needs to be able to defend his title, because if he doesn't defend his title, he's got to start climbing up the ladder right from the bottom, and he doesn't want that. He can smell bigger things, so he needs to give it his all.
There's a lot of talk going into this particular fight about the famous Zezele punch that our very own sniper is going to introduce. Have you had any opportunity or any evidence to look at the Zezele punch? Is there any evidence to see that we're seeing the Zezele punch anytime soon in this particular fight?
Well, I don't know what time he's going to introduce it, but I haven't seen it yet, because whatever punch it is, it must be a special punch. He's probably keeping it for later.
The action continues here. It's a minute and 20 seconds to go before the end of round 3 here at the government complex. The arena that is absolutely packed to the rafters for this bout between David Sniper Mwale and of course Charlton Malajika, nicknamed the Baby Pain. It seems like he's taking the pain, or that David Sniper Mwale can throw at him. It seems like he's handling it.
Yeah, he's ready. He was expecting this. He's prepared. He's expecting this and more. So I'm sure he's going to, he will be able to take more pain. And they say every time a fighter's knee touches the ground, it's an advantage for you. So he will have that in his mind.
Well, he literally wrestled his opponent to the ground. I don't know whether that's advantage or not. But Ben Said, what do you make of that little interaction of the two boxers that resulted in David Sniper Mwale on the canvas.
Well, that's the enthusiasm. That's the enthusiasm from both sides. Obviously, they need to get away from that. Stop brawling and just box. They need to box. You know, the minute you start brawling, it takes away the excitement and the beauty of boxing.
Before you hand over the mic, I have to ask you this question. 3 rounds gone. How does the scorecard look to you in your mind ahead of the 4th round?
Isaac, this is a close one. This is a very close one, Isaac. I'm waiting for the judges' score on this one. I'm not going to put my head on the block on this one. I'll wait for the official score after the 4 rounds.
Let's talk about the action, probably what you can see from a professional perspective. What are you seeing here? Who has got the advantage and who doesn't have the advantage when you look at these highlights from the 3rd round?
You know, they're both doing well. They're both landing punches. They're both doing well. And, you know, so far it looks 50-50 fight to me. And we'll see who's going to claim the fight in the later round.
For the sake of our viewers, let me just remind you that the WBC rules entail that after 4 rounds, there's going to be an announcement in terms of who is leading or who is behind in terms of the scorecard. So expect that after this particular round, that starts now. The two boxers in the center of that ring, and of course trying to size one another up in the early exchanges. It's Charlton Malajika on the front foot, but a counter by the defending champion in the Sniper Mwale there. I wonder if you've ever noticed Sniper always showboating, especially in these crucial matches, crucial bouts such as this one, Ben.
For me, I don't support showboating. I don't like showboating, and I don't want to see a pro boxer showboating. It takes away the spirit of boxing, because you're taunting your opponent, and at the end of the day, you don't do that. You got to respect your opponent. Respect your opponent. Give him the respect that he has, and yeah, that's what it's all about.
Well, definitely shades of Charles Manucci in terms of his showboating. Many of the Zambian boxing fans might remember Charles Manucci for his antics and his showboating. I'm not so sure whether it's the right approach in as far as this bout is concerned. But definitely this is one of the most difficult, most challenging, you know, opponents that the Snipers definitely face here at the government complex. We're down to the 1 minute 25 second mark here at the government complex in this WBC Bantamweight Championship bout between the Sniper of Zambia and of course Baby Pain of South Africa.
It's a very exciting fight, and yes.
Are you sitting on the fence as well, just like Ben, waiting for the official announcement by the ring announcer?
Yeah, I am. It's a hard fight to judge, so I don't want to put myself in there. It's a tough fight. Both fighters are doing well, and we'll see who's going to claim the fight. But it's a very entertaining fight. David Sniper Mwale is, I hope, going to carry the day today.
This is a boxer in Charlton, Baby Pain Malajika, the South African, who won a title in Mauritius at the age of 18, whilst in his 11th grade at high school, the Diversity High School, winning a title in Mauritius really just shows and underlines his credentials as one of the best pound for pound, you know, bantamweight fighters on the African continent. He defeated a Mauritian boxer by the name of Mervyn Clay, who represented his country at the Tokyo 2022 Olympics. So Charlton definitely knows how to win away from home when the crowd is not in his favor.
Well, the crowd may not be in your favor, but if you've got the fight, you've got the fight.
So just as we told you at the beginning of round 4, expect the ring announcer Alec Mugala to make reference in terms of the scorecard of the judges after round 4 as per tradition in terms of the rules for the WBC. Let's listen in.
Very close.
In the first 4.5 rounds, if you like.
I'll put it to you this way. Not a subdued performance by the sniper, but a better performance by Charlton. Charlton has been the better boxer. He's been more aggressive, and he's taking the fight to David. So this is not about the champion being subdued. This is about the champion facing a good boxer. That's what it is.
Ben is saying that Charlton has been more the aggressor, but in terms of what is visible on the screen to a layman, the fact that Charlton has been cut in the first 4 rounds.
Thing is, Charlton knows what he's doing. He's being disciplined. He's trying to stay in his game. He's not, I feel like he's getting hit, but he's covering up. He's being disciplined. He's staying out. He's taking his shots. I think it's a beautiful performance from Charlton so far. And David is gonna have to change something if he was to knock this guy out.
Ben, I want to turn to you because this is a question that a lot of people ask me, and I'm going to ask you now, as an expert. If the fight was to finish after round 5 without a knockout, has Charlton as the challenger done enough to convince the judges to win this particular fight, or this, if it ends like this without a knockout and the status quo remains the same, then ultimately the championship remains with Snipe?
Well, that's a tough question to ask, but I'll tell you what it is. If the fight had to end now, as it is, he would lose his belt. David would lose his belt, because the way I see the fight going, I see this fight going Charlton's way. That's the way I see the fight.
Well, the boy who grew up in Kalikiliki compound, just a stone throw away from Mutendere compound, which housed some of the best female boxers, and Catherine Perry, and of course, Esther Perry, who originated from there, has to dig deep in terms of finding some resolve to get a result in this particular fight. But Charlton hasn't come out to play; he's come out to box in this one.
Yeah, I think Sniper needs to dig very deep now. I think he needs to find something special. I think he has to take his time and think. He needs to stop rushing in with punches. And he's falling in. His head is falling in. He needs to stay back. Stay calculated. He has to calculate his moves. And this is not like the other fights. I'm sure by now he noticed it. This is not a fight. This is nothing like this is the fights he has faced, fighters he has faced before. And I'm sure he's thinking of a game change or a game plan. It's urgency now. It's urgency now. It's pressure now. So he has to find something from somewhere and change the way this fight is going.
Ben, I just want to get your overall thoughts. You were trying to say something. Sorry, I cut you off.
We just missed the 4-round score, but from the last bit, I could pick out that Charlton is up on the card, just like I have predicted. Charlton is leading on the card. Yes.
Well, the Encyclopedia of Zambian Boxing has already confirmed to us that it's seemingly Charlton on the ascendance in terms of the scorecard here at the government complex. Seemingly worrying moments, but this is what makes champions. When you're in a tight position like this, you need to find a way to get out of that tight corner and get the result. From what you have seen so far in the first 5.5 rounds going into the 6th round, do you think that David Sniper Mwale has the answer to get out of this conundrum and get the victory?
He's got to win at least 3 rounds. He's got to win at least 3 rounds, because when you're down 2 points on the scorecard, you've got to win 3 rounds to be able to catch. Well, you win 2 rounds to catch up, and then you got to win an extra round to be on the lead.
It's blow by blow, jab by jab, hook by hook action here at the government complex, the cathedral of modern day boxing in this country. And I can tell you that this is the action that everybody came to see here at the government complex. It's the WBC action, bantamweight international title fight between David Sniper Mwale and of course Charlton Malajika here at the government complex. On the ascendancy is the South African, but definitely the Charlton, the Sniper and his camp surely have got something up their sleeve to try and change the trajectory, as you see the bloody face of Malajika.
Yeah, I think this is a winnable fight for David. All he has to do is just relax. You see the way he's rushing. He doesn't have to do that. This guy is going to keep catching him, coming in, rushing in. He has to stay sharp. He has to stay sharp. Sometimes you don't have to hit the guy with a hard punch. You just have to disturb him, bother him. Keep disturb him, throw him off his plans. Small jabs, punches like that, jumping in like that. This guy will keep catching him, punches like that, and it will be a long night for his night. If he keeps doing what he's doing.
Well, look, the champion has got one thing to look at. He's seen that blood coming out of Charlton's face. Work on it, work on it, work on it. That's one avenue that he can use to be able to win this fight. Work on that, work on that, work on that.
We're down to the last 25 seconds here in this particular bout, and I can tell you that everybody is on edge, because we have never seen the champion in such a predicament, and his loss already is come, but Charlton keeps on coming forward despite the bloody face that he has, showing defiance and showing absolute character and focus, discipline to get the job done.
Yes, both boxers exhibiting themselves very well, but like I said, you've got a situation here where the challenger has got this cut, and I think the champion has also got one as well. So this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Whoever takes advantage of the other's injury will win this fight.
Blood, sweat and tears, baby.
Would you say that that last flurry of exchange of punches is advantage Sniper or advantage Charlton?
I could see the referee going into Charlton's corner. He's obviously very concerned about that cut. And, well, this is where the catmen do their job. They're paid to do that. A catman has got to be able to control that cut, stop that bleeding any way you can, but only using the prescribed solutions. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Because if that cut continues bleeding, this fight won't continue.
Yeah, the doctor may come in and take a look at that anytime.
Well, round 6 is coincided to the history books, and now we look forward to round 7 here at the government complex. It's absolutely exhilarating, exciting, pulsating action here at the government complex. I'm running out of riveting words to exclaim and explain what is transpiring in as far as the government complex is concerned. It's delicately poised between these two boxers, Ben.
Well, look at it this way. I think David clawed back one round. He clawed back one round. So after clawing back that round, at least he's only 1 point behind. So if he wins another round, they're even. So yeah, he's going good. Charlton is going to be more careful because he's allowing David more space. David is catching him with punches that he wasn't catching him with earlier on. Maybe because he's a bit tired. But okay, David being cautioned there, but following through with the elbow.
One thing I know is David is not going to get tired. This is the best show of his life. I say in train, this boy always comes in shape. He did whatever he had to do in training. He left no stone unturned, and I'm sure he's going to. Tiring will not be part of his game tonight.
Again, a familiar pattern that we are seeing in the middle of the ring because both boxers trying to use the jab to try and help them get some sort of an advantage in as far as this fight is concerned. I was just listening to an interview earlier today in the morning when Charlton Malajika was talking about how he's benefited from sparring alongside his brother, or sparring with his brother, who's a two-weight, WBO champion in his own regard. Are you seeing any of that in the jabs that you're seeing in this particular fight?
Well, let's look at it this way. If you're going to be sparring with a champion, then you learn something from the champion. You definitely learn something from the champion. So he has learned something from his brother. And a champion at WBA is a big champion. So, yeah, but this has been a good fight. David is coming back in this round. So, yeah, it's exciting. It will just culminate into a wonderful, wonderful explosion at the end of 12 rounds, if we do go that far, and I think we will.
It looks like David is finding his rhythm now. He's doing the things he has to do. Every time a fighter does the things he wants to do in a fight, it's a good sign.
We're down to the last 17
this is what
seconds
the fans came to see. They came to see an explosive fight, and they've got an explosive fight.
The crowd definitely appreciating what they're seeing from their champion here, based on the number of decimals that have gone up in the last couple of seconds in the last exchanges of this particular fight and round, rather.
Well, I think David has just clawed his way back. At this stage, David has clawed his way back. It's all even.
I think so. I think David managed to get this round and last round. This must be even fight now.
How important is it for the medics on Charlton Malajika's side to try and ensure that that cut doesn't become too wide to close the eye, because closing the eye would definitely disadvantage him?
Yeah, it's very important. There's a cut man. He gets paid to do this. They expected this, and I'm sure he has the staff to maintain that cut. And I'm pretty sure he will do his best to control.
Yeah, his captain has got a big job to do here. They've got to be able to control that. David knows that. That's why he keeps going there. He keeps knocking on that door. He wants that cut to get bigger and deeper. And that's where his weakness is. Charlton's weakness is in that cut. He's taking so many punches to that particular cut, and you'll see what's going on.
We're into round 7 here at the government complex. Exhilarating pulsating, extravagant boxing that we are witnessing here. And the sniper there lands with 1 or 2 before.
It's a good punch. A good punch.
He connects with 1 or 2 of those
Finding his fight.
punches that we have become synonymous with here at the government complex.
Yeah, the champion there taking Malajika with his momentum. You know, Malajika came in quick and David swung out and caught him with a right. Straight into the corner.
I saw him train that punch in the gym and it's working for him now.
An electric atmosphere here that has engulfed the government complex because of the fans that have thronged this particular, arena to ensure that they support their very own and their champion in David Sniper Mwale. But believe me this is the fight for the ages, because Charlton Malajika has definitely brought his A game to this particular fight. He might be bleeding, but he's definitely in this particular fight.
Maybe that's the Zezele punch he was talking about. Taking your opponent and swinging him into the corner. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's the punch he was training for.
Yeah, I saw him work with that punch with Coach Mike. He just have to keep doing what he's doing now, and I'm sure he's going to take this fight if he just keeps doing what he's doing now.
For the sake of our viewers, what exactly is he doing here? Is he making his opponent chase? And
yeah, he's making him chase, he's making him miss, he's landing punches, he's not being careless, he's not rushing in, and that's what he has to do. He just have to stay disciplined and make his opponent miss. There's a cut under Davis' eyes too.
We're down to the last 10 seconds in this particular round. And the sniper with 1 or 2 that land on his opponent. And opponent definitely wobbling in the name of Charlton Malajika there. But the bail definitely coming to the rescue of the South African in that particular regard. But both boxers now seemingly busted open in their face. And this one is becoming really, really difficult to call.
After this performance in the last few rounds, David is now taking the ascendancy and David is ahead on the card.
Yeah, I believe so. And this card's a part of boxing. It's about blood and guts. And these are warriors. They don't mind this. They take pride in these cards. And I'm sure they'll find a way to fight with the cards they have. There's no pain there. It's just a card. It's just the bleeding that's bothering you. The card mans are there to stop that bleeding.
Well, you can definitely see that the Zambians came out in their numbers here at the government complex to support their own. But it's not as easy as they thought it might have been in this particular fight, because Charlton Malajika has really come out and made a fight of this particular bout at the government complex. I'm just going to be interested, Ben, to see the body language. Who is going to be on the front foot in the early exchanges of this particular round 8?
Yes, both boxers are very cagey at this stage. Both boxers are sizing each other up and they know what's at stake. We'll see what goes on as the fight progresses into the second minute of this round. Obviously, after that explosive 7th round, both boxers are just taking it a little bit easy.
Yeah, it's just they're enjoying it now. They're enjoying the pain. They're enjoying the pressure. They're enjoying the lights. And, whatever happens here tonight, Africa will have a worthy representative.
A wise old man by the name of Ben Said, he once told me that sometimes it's all about the eyes. You can tell whether the boxer is tired or not. I want to get it from you as a professional former boxer. How much should you read into the eyes when they start to widen up a little bit more than they should?
You read his face, you read his eyes. You can tell when somebody doesn't want to be in there, when they are gassing out. There's the way they breathe. They keep looking in their corners. They keep looking around. So it's just, but I don't see it yet from this guy.
Okay. Both of them? Both of them? You can't see it from both of them?
I don't see it from any of them. I think these guys are in a tip-top shape. And it'll take a lot for them to get tired.
Well, we're just in the round 8 at the moment. Hopefully, maybe that might change in the round 9, 10, or even 11 as we approach the distance. But yeah, it's two physically fit boxers in the prime of their career going at it here at the government complex, leaving no stone unturned and ensuring that they give the fans that have come out in their numbers here blow for blow action, jab for jab action. And this is exhilarating boxing. This is what we want to see in African boxing. The best of the best going head to head and of course slugging it out here at the government complex.
Isaac, this is a super fight. We're going to close to two-thirds of the fight gone, 1/3 to go. After this, I've got David up on the card, and we've still got a lot of fight left in both boxes. We still got a lot of fight in there, so we're yet to see how this is going to pan out.
Yeah. Davis is definitely back in this fight. He's doing really well. You just have to keep doing what he's doing, and I hope he finds more gear to change this and take it clearly.
We're in the dying minutes, or should I say seconds rather, of round 8 here at the government complex. Extended period because of that stoppage in the action. And, it seems like one there definitely connected from Malajika.
Yes, very good solid right from Malajika there, catching the champion. Very good punch. But the champion at least withstood that one. He took it.
So there's the official announcement by the ring announcer. After 8 rounds, it's dead even Stevens, if you like, between the two boxers. Judge 1 in favor of the sniper, Judge 2 in favor of Malajika, and of course Judge 3 calling it even Stevens at 76-76. This couldn't be any closer going into round number 9. Ben.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, this is a very tight fight, very close fight. I thought that David had edged it slightly because after the 4 rounds he was down on the card, but coming back into this, he's clawed his way back up. He's fought his way back into this fight. The second 4 rounds have definitely been good for David.
Ben, I just want to ask you this before we change microphones here. If it ends in such a manner whereby one judge in favor of the champion, one judge in favor of the challenger, and the other one causes even Stevens, what happens in terms of the belt?
The champion keeps it. The champion keeps the belt.
Does it go down as a draw or does it go down as a win?
It's a draw. It's a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw, but we don't want a draw here tonight. We want someone to go with a belt, and I hope that's Dave Mwale.
Well, we're here to entertain, of course, educate the masses out there. So some people might not know what would happen in such a situation. So it's our duty as commentators to ensure that we educate them
Definitely.
about what could potentially happen if such a decision comes to the fore after 12 rounds. So that was basically my idea.
Definitely. Thank you for the Amen.
The action continues here. We're down to 1 minute 30 roughly in the 9th round. The blood continues to gush down the left cheek of the challenger in Malajika. And David Sniper Mwale with a few wild hooks there, but none of them really connecting.
Yeah,
An indication of how good Malajika has been in ducking out in those ferocious punches that have been coming his way.
If there was an even fight I've ever seen, this is one of them.
Well, it's a lot of holding, Ben. One might be mistaken to think that maybe this is a ballroom dance, but anyway, it's boxing at the end of the day.
Yes, it's boxing. Ever tried being in that ring? You will understand what's going on. It's not easy in there. That ring looks small when you're in there. You got nowhere to run. You got nowhere to hide when the punches start coming in.
Yeah, that's true. They say when you get tired, you pass the ball, but there's no one to pass the ball here for. You're on your own. You just have to find a way. We almost had Rico Ortiz for Mayweather moment there.
Believe you me, that 6x6 looks like a 1x1 when you're in there.
Definitely.
Well, round 9 has come and gone, and this one looks like it's tighter than ever because we were hoping that round number 9 will give us an idea as to who will be in the ascendancy. It looks like it's still even Stevens going into round number 10, Ben.
I'm looking at Charlton's face, and that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad. That cut is getting wider and wider. Yeah. It's getting wider and wider. Not very good. I'm sure the referee will come in and have a look at that at some stage.
When you look at his face, something is bothering him. He's trying to communicate with his coaches. He's trying to communicate with the ref. I don't know what it is. Something is bothering him. It could be the eye, but at this moment, I think the momentum is with David Sniper Mwale.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see what happens because round 10 is just around the corner. The sniper is already standing up. Charlton Malajika also standing up. Round 10 now is upon us here at the government complex. I want you just to talk about the footwork. Have you noticed that the footwork has become slower and slower as the rounds have progressed? And what does that mean from a professional perspective as a boxer?
These two guys are not. They are fighting. They're not here to entertain. They're not here to be stylish. They want to take each other's head off. They don't care about the feet. At this moment, they're all about punches. Everybody wants to score. You don't score with legs moving around. But they're all getting in position without moving too much. Charlton is trying to keep his feet out because David is his southpaw. But they just want to fight now. They're two warriors. They don't want to dance around. They just want to beat each other up.
I want to get your perspective, Ben, on the fact that we're seeing very little movement from both boxers in terms of their legs. What does that tell us about where the state of the fight is at the moment?
Fatigue. Isaac, you get tired. That's fatigue. The way you went in the first round is not the way you're going to be in the 10th round. It's not easy. You get tired. Your legs get heavy. Your hands get heavy. You're trying to keep your breath. So, yeah, they're bound to be slower. It's the last flurry of energy at the end of the 12 rounds. That's going to show in this fight.
That's true.
What do you think is getting more tired quickly here? The legs or the arms? Because it seems like both of them, none of the legs are moving, none of the arms are really moving as swiftly as they were.
It should be the legs. The legs get tired. Your brain gets tired. It transmits everything. And it starts with the leg.
You were asking whether it was hands or the legs? Well, both of them.
I know I'm acting like a nagging wife asking all these questions, but hey, somebody has to ask these questions, and unfortunately I have to be the nagging wife. But yeah, we're down to the last 30 seconds. What do you expect to happen in these next 30 seconds, Ben?
In the next 30 seconds, end of this fight, end of this round, I can see that both boxers are tired, and well, whoever ends on the ascendancy, well, takes a round. But I can see the blood on Charlton's face, and I'm sure the referee is going to go into the corner after this round. He's going to go into Charlton's corner after this round because that cat is not good.
So that means if that punch is caused by a punch, the fight can be stopped, and Davis is the winner.
More damage to that upper left eye, if you like, of the challenger in Charlton, baby pain Malajika. You tend to wonder how much pain he can take, because from a layman's perspective it looks like it's pretty gruesome out there. But also the champion has got a splat of blood just underneath the left eye. It means that he's also suffered a number of blows to his
It's been
face.
a bruising fight. It's been a bruising fight. Both boxers know what it's like. This is a championship fight. They want that belt. David wants to keep it. Charlton wants to take it.
If you're being honest, you've had an opportunity to watch David Sniper Mwale at close quarters for most of his career. Would you say that this is the toughest opponent he's had to face so far in his career?
By far. Yeah, I mean he's fought some good boxers, but by far. Yeah, I know he had a tough fight with Nelson Decadi, but this one is the fight, because this is pitting two very good African boxers together, and both boxers are fantastic. They're good boxers, and whoever goes on to win this fight, or whoever if David gets to defend this title, they will represent the continent well.
You have to remember, Charlton is a mandatory challenger. He's not a guy.
Seat, if you like, for the most explosive and most fierce fight night in as far as 2026 is concerned, in as far as boxing is concerned.
Yes, you can see both boxers are tiring there, trying to conserve as much energy as they can, holding on to each other. But This is been a fantastic fight. Isaac, I would safely say that these are the two best bantamweights that we have on the continent.
My research for this particular fight. Malajika is on a 9-game unbeaten run, and of course Charlton Malajika hasn't lost since his professional boxing debut against Ndabizile Piri on the 13th of May 2023. You know what that means? 1,169 days without defeat as a professional boxer, and it's showing it in this particular fight, isn't it?
Yes, it's showing. It is showing. He's growing in confidence with every win. As a boxer, you grow in confidence every time you win. And for Charlton, it's showing. It's showing. I mean, for David, it's showing as well. Because look, David hasn't lost. He's got a 13-0. Yeah, 13-0. That tells you that, yeah, he's not a walkover, he's not a pushover. He's coming into this fight with that kind of record.
Both fighters came into this particular fight on the back of victories. From a perspective of Charlton, his last fight he beat Florian Saluda, a Filipino boxer, ironically nicknamed the Sniper, and he beat him in 4th round on the 4th of October coming into this particular fight. For the Sniper, he came into this particular fight having won in the first round after 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Do you think any of these boxers would have thought this fight is going to go the distance? And do you think this is a problem for both of them because they are used to finishing their fights quite early rather than going the distance?
They expected this fight to be tough, to go the distance. I don't think they expected to knock each other out. You know, that is, it comes if it comes. That's the mentality. If knockout comes, it comes. But they come in here expecting their toughest fights, and that's what they're getting from each other tonight.
Then we're down to the last 3 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, every boxer trains for the 12 rounds. If it's a championship fight, you train for 12 rounds. You don't train for 1 round. You don't anticipate a fight to finish in 2 or 3 rounds. You train for the 12 rounds. So, yeah, they're prepared for the 12 rounds.
Well, the fans that have come out here in their numbers have definitely got their worth of money in as far as this boxing bout is concerned, because the two fighters have given it their all throughout the 11 and a half or so rounds that we've seen so far.
This is where it all counts. This is where it all counts. Don't lose your head.
And
just keep it steady. The last round is very crucial round.
Definitely wobbled the challenger in that regard, because it caught him with that important right hook, if you like.
Both fighters going for it. They know what's at stake. They know what's at stake. Very crucial 12th round. Take this round, you take the fight.
I think this is going to come down to the last flurry of punches. Last seconds, last 10 seconds. This is a very tight fight, and whoever decides to push, even though there's nothing more to push, is going to take this fight. It may be the last 10 seconds, last 30 seconds, last 5 seconds, last 1 second. This fight is very tight. And
well, I'll tell you one thing. We're down to 1 minute and 10 seconds before the fight comes to an end, and from my scorecard, at least from a layman's perspective, Ben, it looks like the sniper definitely having the better of exchanges in this 12th round, because he seems to have landed the better of the punches so far in round 12.
Yes, he's definitely been on the ascendancy, and he knows what it means. He needs to just keep steady, keep away, don't get yourself caught, because you're already winning.
For some reason, the bell has sung a little bit early, but anyway, who am I to say that it hasn't run 3-1? But anyway, 12 exhilarating rounds here at the government complex have come and gone. The champion expressing a lot of confidence, the challenger in your picture, Charlton, also expressing a lot of confidence that he has carried the day. It will ultimately go down to the scorecard of the judges, and this one is too close to call even for the encyclopedia of Zambian boxing in Pensa. It is sitting on the fence regarding this particular result, and I can see it in your eyes as well that you're also sitting on the fence. So round for round, let's just analyze what transpired as we wait for the official result and the official announcement to come through from the ring announcer. What do you make of what the champion did right, and possibly what he needs to improve on if he's going to get the result and moving forward to keep his belt?
Well, I'll talk about it 4 rounds by 4 rounds. The first 4 rounds, he was careless. The champion was careless. He allowed Malajika to come in and score. He needed to improve on his defense and improve on his aggression as well, on his attack, because every punch that you throw, make sure that it lands. There's no point in throwing 100 punches and only landing 10 or 20. You've got to be able to conserve your energy, because every time you throw a punch and you miss, it saps your energy. The second 4 rounds, he read the game right. He took the fight to Malajika, and yeah, it showed on the scorecard. The last 4 rounds, he was even better. He was even better. But it's been close. It's been close. It's been a very close fight. But judging on the last round, I think he might have just edged it. If he hasn't edged it, he still gets to keep his belt, because I think he would have earned the draw.
What do you make of the fight overall? Not looking at it from a round-to-round perspective, but just overall, do you think that the champ has done enough to just edge this and keep the title?
I think Charlton had the better start, but after, I'm sure the champ adjusted his game in the 4th round. I agree with Ben. He did what he had to do. He corrected his game, and the last 4 rounds were 50-50. But I do agree with Ben. If anybody is going to win this fight, it's David Sniper Mwale. But it may be a draw.
So we have to wait and see, and this one is going to go to the scorecard of the judges, and it will be interesting to see what the scorecard for each of the 3 judges will read as the ring announcer comes to the fore in a moment or two. But Ben, you can clearly see the number of Zambians that came out to this particular boxing bout underlines how much Zambians actually love the sport of boxing.
The sport of boxing has always been a popular sport, and not only that, Zambians have scored a lot of success in boxing. In fact, the sport of boxing has been the most successful discipline in as far as our country is concerned. So yeah, they do come out, and they come out in numbers because they love boxing, and because boxing gives them something to cheer about.
It's a very anxious crowd out there for the first time in a long time, maybe for the first time in forever, that I've seen Zambians come to watch a match or a bout for David Sniper Mwale and looking anxious about the result. This is just testament to how hard of an opponent, how difficult of an opponent Charlton Malajika has been during the course of this 12 rounds.
Yeah, definitely a very good opponent, very tough opponent, and yes, David really was made to work. He was really made to work, and there is no doubt. Like I said, these are the best two bantamweights on the continent, and it showed. Whoever takes this fight, if David keeps his belt, if Charlton wins the belt, whoever takes this belt is going to represent Africa well.
There is the man in charge of proceedings here, Dr. Matani here, and he is coming with the WBC belt and with that special paper in his hand that will carry the official result. That will determine whether Sniper Mwale, David Sniper Mwale, retains his WBC title, or well, the South African challenger in the name of Charlton Baby Pain Malajika eventually, take the title away from Zambia. This one is a close call, and we wait with bated breath, just like everybody else inside the modern day arena of Zambian boxing, which is the government complex. We wait with bated breath for this particular result that is now in the hands of Alec Mugal. Let's cross over to the ring announcer and hear the official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, in as far as our scores are concerned, Charlton 116, David Mwale 117. Malajika 113, David Mwale 115, Charlton Malajika 114, Judge number C, David Mwale 114, and Charlton Malajika 114. The two boxers, it's a draw, ladies and gentlemen.
David would
defended his title in a draw, but this was really close between the two boxers.
Yes, this was a very close fight, but like I said, you've got to be able to show. You've got to be able to show that you have won the fight. Very close fight. Very close.
Very close fight. You're fighting a champion in his home ground, in front of his fans. He had to do a lot more than that to take the belt away from him, and he didn't do it. If anybody was going to win it, it was going to be David, because the challenger did not do enough to take the belt away from the champion.
Ben, as the encyclopedia of Zambian boxing, I want you to take off your patriotic cap of being Zambian, put on your analytical cap. Was this a hometown decision in favor of David Mwale? Do you really think he deserves to stay hold of this particular title? What are your thoughts overall?
Well, let's put it this way. I'll put it to you this way. What happens is this. At the end of the day, the judges are picked from different places. Okay, the judges are picked from different countries. WBC ensures the neutrality of their judges, and they always ensure that they pick the best judges for a particular championship bout. And mind you, even the judges, after they've scored this, these fights are going to be reviewed. They always review this fight, and if the challenger at all feels that he wasn't given a proper verdict, is free to challenge. It can go for review. But at the end of the day, the WBC ensures neutrality in their judging. That's why you get judges from different countries. The man at the center, different country. The three judges, different countries. They would like to ensure neutrality in the way their judges score their fights.
Do you expect the camp of Charlton Malajika to once again challenge for the for the belt next time around, or do you think them probably just to let it go?
Well, let's put it this way: if David gets a shot at the silver title, then he will leave this one vacant. You understand what I'm saying? So he'll leave this one vacant, and then Charlton can step into his shoes. So I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, Charlton knows that, well, he would have been the one to take that first step, go and challenge for the silver belt, okay, silver title. But as it stands, he's lost that opportunity. He's lost that opportunity. So the way it goes, he's still got an opportunity, because David will probably not want to give him a rematch because he was a mandatory challenger, but now he's no longer the mandatory challenger. He's lost that opportunity.
Well, that's where we have to wrap it up in terms of our live broadcast, both live on PM Television, channel 114 on your top stop, okay, and of course ZMBC TV3. On behalf of myself, Isaac Shipatanga, my two co-commentators giving us expert analysis, breaking down the rules of the game and giving us insight in as far as the sport of boxing is concerned. And on behalf of everybody